My dear, beautiful, and amazing Royals of Africa, as promised, we are continuing our series about exposing the dangerous predators among us. All right? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royal. So in today's section, we are discussing a guest of honor on our hall of shame. All right? In today's section of exposing the dangerous predators among us, as guest honor, we have Dr. Umar Johnson. To me, he's another one. This is a dangerous, manipulative, bold-faced liar, coon artist, and all the above. Watch this.
How you doing, brother?
Where in the world?
Detroit.
Detroit, Michigan. Talk to me. What's your comment on the conversation?
Well, I got a comment for a conversation and a comment for something else too. Yeah, I was kind of disagreement with you.
No problem.
Athletes, you know, you said if a kid have a passion for sports, he is a. You know,
say this again.
You said if a kid have a passion for sports, he is a coon.
If a kid has a passion for sports, he is a coon. I have never said that. Can you please find the video and the timestamp where I said if an African child wants to be an athlete, he's a coon? I've never said that.
I mean, that's what I got from what you said, because you was talking about athletes and you was talking.
Did you hear me say, brother, that if an African child wants to be an athlete, he's a coon? You heard me say that, then you should be able to show me the video and the timestamp. I have more videos on YouTube than any scholar alive. Show me the video and the.
Oh, I mean, that's one thing, and another thing was that
I did not say it, so I'm not going. I did not say that. I just want.
Okay.
Remember, I don't mind if you challenge me, brother.
Oh no.
That I said, but I never said that.
All right, I'm most definitely not trying to challenge you. I know you're an educated brother. You know you're smarter what you do.
I didn't say that, though. I just want to clarify with you, brother. I never said that. I would never call our children coons. I would not say that.
All right, I was making sure. Maybe I misconstrued.
We have to raise our boys and girls right the first time. And if you got your children worshiping Christmas, that's a coon being created. Your child is worshiping materialism, that's a coon being created. Your son can't wait to be the next football player, basketball player. He is a baby coon waiting to be birthed. I'm just being honest.
All right. Before we even go any further, this is a guy who self-proclaimed a Pan-Africanist, but really in reality, he's among us to sow divide. He's a self-proclaimed Pan-Africanist who just get ticked off when an African from UK gets a role to portray another African that was taken to America. It pisses him off. This guy goes around proclaiming to be self-righteous and gives himself the right to go barking. The way I see him handles his brothers and sisters around, he goes around as the most knowledgeable. Knowledgeable for what? He's probably the most indoctrinated, because the most degree you have, especially for black males, that one is not even African. The rubbish that comes out of his mouth, you wouldn't believe he's African.
Okay, so what's your biggest gripe with the British people playing African roles. When you see your boy Daniel Kalua, which is an African name, by the way, right? He said he gave respect and honor to the chairman. So what when he found out his story? So what's going on with that?
It sounds like you didn't hear anything I said today, did you?
It's a part of it.
Because I put all this down. Did you watch what I've already said in this live stream today?
You know come on, Ifatune. They don't do you not. Why wouldn't I be listening to King Kong consciousness? I'm Donkey Kong consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? I'm following your footsteps, brother.
How can you be a Pan-Africanist and yet have a problem for a UK African to come and play an American hero role? It's like you're missing it. You're missing the concept of our oneness. We are one, okay? We are one. It doesn't matter if it's British who captured your ancestor or Spanish who captured your ancestor or Portuguese or French. We are one. Now, this educated fool doesn't see things like that. And the minute one of our UK sons got the role, it was a complete uproar for him. He's making it all about, respecting the legacy, the this and that. He's as crafty as his masters. For beware of this kind. Loudmouth idiots. When I came to the scene, I'm like, this is a Pan-Africanist. Unlike other African-American activists, he's the one who claims he's kind of serving as the bridge between the continent and all. He's no different than a white man who sees in Africans an opportunity, a monetary opportunity. All right, I heard he's married to a Nigerian kid 25 years or more younger than him. The personality trait of the monsters we're discussing on this series is the same. They will come to you with warmth, with words, making you feel that you're one of them and so on, just for you to drop your guards and them strike. The way he talks to his brothers and sisters around, he really thinks he got it. To me, he's just a bully. And he needs to shut the hell up and get off people's faces.
Frederick Douglass said it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men. I am not interested in building a broken male reconstruction factory. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to fix broken men. Because once white power takes your spirit, you're done. You'll never be the same again. It's like a computer that's been infected with a virus. Once you take the spirit out, it'll never be the same again.
He tries to go around intimidating people because of his degree. My grandfather told me the more degrees, the more brainwash. Deep down, he thinks he's better than his brother who lives in the ghetto just because the white man spend enough time on his behind to indoctrinate him. So he goes around thinking he knows it all. He's better than everybody else. He shouldn't go after any of us. He's not righteous. He's a self-proclaimed righteous, super educated nonsense. He needs to get off people's face and shut the hell up and start treating everybody with the same respect he demands from people. It doesn't matter the amount of degrees. You're a fool, you're a fool. And I hope people back at home in Africa are watching us. Don't let just anybody come through. We are living around very sick people who represent a real danger. And even before things got out of hand with the predator who's after me, before the matter got to the point where this monster you watched in the previous video, Roman Simpson, threatening me, I reached out to him. I reached out to him because he parades himself around as a community leader. I'm like, he's part of your community. He's one of you. So talk to him, get him off my back. I'm like, Mr. King Kong, go and address this gorilla who's after me. He's part of your community. He never replied. He didn't do anything. He didn't reply. But yet he was in my DM calling me goddess this, goddess that, goddess this, goddess that. What does it mean? He's one of those who have the mentality they can't help a sister unless she's losing her pride to him. This is how they pimp us. He needs to get off people's faces. He didn't reply. He didn't do anything.
Everybody seen the movie Alien, right? Saw the movie Alien, Sigourney Weaver. It's my favorite science fiction trilogy. Aliens 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite. The alien is a perfect symbol for the Negro. So you have this African boy or girl, this child is born, this beautiful African baby, sent from the Most High God, okay? Because we're the only people who actually birth children who have God's DNA. We are the only people who actually birth children who have God's DNA. We are the only people who birth children who actually have galactic genes within their body. So you have this beautiful African child. Now let's look at the alien. The alien comes, and the alien is a metaphor for white supremacy, white power. So the alien comes, and what does it do? It impregnates the Negro with a seed. It impregnates the Negro child with a seed, okay? And that alien that is going to impregnate the Negro child with the seed is the public school system. It's the public school system. It's the media system. It's the entertainment system. It's going to impregnate the Negro child against its will. Notice when you watch the Alien movie, nobody ever voluntarily opened their mouth and let the alien lay an egg. Nobody voluntarily opened their mouth to let the alien lay an egg. The alien forced its way. It forced the mouth open, and then it lays the egg in the brain or in the chest. Your heart and your mind, your soul and your intellect. So the alien lays the egg. White supremacy lays the egg within the black child's heart or mind or both. And then that egg germinates. It gesticulates. And after a certain amount of time, it brings forth a new creature that they have an alien inside of them, do you?
Contrary to what the popular belief of this guy being a Pan-Africanist who loves his people and loves his homeland. But my dear children, what I saw in this man is just a coon. And it's funny, he's the first one going around calling everybody else coon, including me. I send a video, I'm coming out as an activist and stuff, and you already have a big platform. I asked him to share a simple video because apparently he was out there, you know, fighting for the same cause I'm fighting for. So I'm like, since you've been around longer, you have a larger platform, why won't you share my video? Do you know what that fool did? Not only I didn't get a reply on whether he was going to share the video or not, but next is I catch him. I was led to go to my phone and just go on Instagram. And there he was on a kids channel on my African Icon channel. He was there on a live, sowing divide among us, putting in the head of African American kids that they shouldn't trust Africans who come from the continent because at the end of the day, they are coons. In this next section, you will hear him use the analogy of the movie Alien to describe how Africans are not to be trusted. And mind you, this was a kids channel. So what is he doing? He's sowing distrust of continental Africans in the mind of African American children. Watch this.
You don't even realize that there's an alien inside of the person. They still seem like a regular conscious African. They still have their kente cloth on. They still got their Hotep name. They still making videos on YouTube. They're still going to Africa. They're still talking black, right? And so for a few years, they still look like a regular African. And then all of a sudden, one day you sitting there with this Negro, this African, who had the alien's egg, the white supremacy egg, planted in their brain or chest cavity. And y'all sitting there, and all of a sudden, they start having these attacks, and their body is shivering, and the chest pop out.
I would have had more respect for this fool, for him to call me alien to my face, because alien is the terminology used by the US federal government to describe an individual who wasn't born in the US territory. Of course, they view us Africans as competition. They view us African women as competition. This is how they do some slick shit. Okay? He thinks he's so slick. He thinks he's as clever as his masters. I would have had more respect for you to come straight up and ask me for my alien number. Okay? Instead of going on a movie, alien, alien, alien this. Okay? When they come in contact with African, they come around us with their master superiority complex. I've been here long enough to ID them. This is a fool that needs to get off people's face, and it's about time he start treating everybody with the same level of respect they deserve. He's not better than anybody. He's a fool. These are the dangerous ones. These are the shapeshifters among us. When it's convenient, they're African. When it's convenient, they're American. When it's convenient, they're something else. So beware with this fool, so-called Dr. Umar, whatever.
And this new thing comes out. This ugly little baby comes out the African. And guess what that little thing is? That is the coon. That little alien that busts out once white supremacy laid an egg in the mind of the African. And then after a couple years, out of nowhere, the chest cavity busts out and that little ugly thing comes out and it starts screaming. That's the coon. That is the birth of the coon. And if you notice, when you watch the Alien movie, once the coon busts out the soul of the Negro, once the coon, go back and watch Aliens tonight, brothers and sisters. Once that little ugly thing pop out the chest, once the coon is birthed, the original Negro dies on the spot.
If this is not an agent of division, you tell me what he is. He's an agent of division and confusion. Agents such as these must be properly identified. He has no love for Africa nor the African people. I would have had more respect for you to ask me my alien number instead of turning around, make a whole video talking about the birth of a coon when I was asking him to share my first video of the birth of a queen. So people back at home who are watching, people such as Dr. Umar Johnson, our security risk, whatever business you're dealing with him, no. In his stupid mind, he views you as inferior. He's standing on his degree. He's standing on his American passport. So to those of us who are out there, playing that sick game, poor us, we have predators among us that we need to deal with. All right, we first of all have to properly identify them. We have to properly expose them, because even when you're suffering of something and you go to the doctor, you want a right diagnostic. You want to know what you're suffering from, since we're talking about healing. I think our healing will start when we properly identify the predators among us, the agents of division, the agents of confusion, and the agents of death. And to anybody on the continent watching, don't think that it's just some games. I mean, they specialize in it. Who's the number one black woman killer in this country is the black man. Yes. I watched a few stories that really broke my heart. This gorgeous and beautiful child with her adorable baby. She was murdered, and the 2-day-old baby was thrown into the river. This is how, when it comes to run from responsibility, when it comes to that child support thing, they will kill you over that. Because she had a baby, he didn't want to deal with child support, so he killed her and he killed the baby. And there's countless of stories like that. I'm not that queen that's gonna sit and and play the game. Oh, poor us, we know better. If we can invest in their education, we can invest in thinking that, are we being a son or a daughter to our community, or are we being a terrorist, a complete terror to our own people? Now, such individual doesn't consider me his people, nor does it consider any other female. So I get enraged when I see our daughters, here getting the worst treatment, because God knows that what our daughters here in America have to deal with, of course, is not all our children who are broken. But according to my estimation, when it comes to our males, I take 15% of them out of the 49 millions, or how many millions there are out there. Only 15% of them are men. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that our daughters in America don't have a large pool of real men that they could count on, that could do what a man per us the Bantu people is supposed to be. A man per the Bantu people is supposed to provide and protect. All right, if a man can provide and protect, he's not a man, he's a boy. So we have to be able, my dear daughters, to identify those that go around saying, well, the black woman. If it wasn't for the black woman, I'm afraid that we wouldn't have a black community in America. The black woman is the most loyal, the most long-suffering. And no matter what, unlike us African women on the continent, no matter what, she sticks to her own. No matter what, she still picks them up. She still picks them first. But she gets such a bad rap the moment she sleeps. And I have one of our daughters, she has a whole channel dragging them, black woman this, black woman that, black woman that. And I got the message, the same message I had when this guy, the late Kevin Samuels, was, the ancestor told me to reach out to him and to warn him that the African woman is the mother of humanity, and the time for her to rise and sit on her throne has come, and there's no one or anything that will stop it. Because for the black man to be restored, the woman he comes from, the woman he came through, has to be pulled from out of the dark they threw her. But many of them don't understand it. You see them getting triggered with that recent movie, Daomi. Because he put the woman on the spotlight. So they're making it all about a conspiracy. Oh, it's a conspiracy of the supremacists. They want to pin the black woman against bullshit. Conspiracy. You can't stand seeing her being celebrated. You can't stand seeing her being put on the pedestal. You can't stand that, because your master taught you to rape her, abuse her, take from her, and steal from her. And this is the problem we must address. This is the problem we must address among the black community. They get triggered because they feel that they must be recognized first before the black woman is recognized. They feel that they must come first before the black woman comes first. But, my dear lunatic, it won't happen. You came from her. She brought you about. That's why our people say she's the throne. She's the throne that makes you king. She's the status changer. She's the one that makes you a man, from a boy to a man once you marry her, from a prince to a king, from just a man to a father. She's the one who makes you father. Why should you come first? But they're delusional. When you see them playing these psycho, because a lot of them are psychopaths, they don't know it. You see them sitting in front of the camera. I really think it's a white man agenda to divide the black woman. No. You view her as your competition. I know the loud one, the one who went after LeBron James over the daughter prom or whatever. Yes, that one. You would hear him so Pan-African, but he's full of jealousy, just like a Romas like that. Africans, those who come from the continent, they come with their kente cloth. They come with their Haimotep names, jealousy. Not because your ancestors got captured and in the process you lost your name. You should hate the people who still have the African names. We living around sociopaths. We don't even know it, but we trust them. We let them in our businesses. We let them in our homes. We let them around our friends for them to tear our life upside down. And they wonder why people don't want to associate themselves with black people. They wonder why the people who are awakened, the people who are conscientious, don't even want to claim it as an identity. Because we have all that mess going up, and then he was basically telling people, oh, what you going to witness, or what you witness is the birth of a coon. And the name of my video I sent him was The Birth of a Queen. These are sick, jealous individuals. When they come around, I heard that one of his women is Nigerian. My dear, what do you think he's doing? Using you for whatever he needs from Africa. If it's juju, if it's whatever, that's what he's using you for. This is what they do. So in order for us to heal, we have to be truthful about the ailment we're suffering in our community. The black man gets triggers when the black woman gets celebrated. The black man in America perceives the black woman as competition. And this is just not in America, this is worldwide. They got that virus. Okay, they still perceive the black woman as competition. They feel that they have to be celebrated before the black woman could be acknowledged. They feel that they have to be put on a pedestal before the black woman could be put on a pedestal. And this is one of the most dysfunctional and sick belief I have ever come across. Look at Nelson Mandela. He started perceiving Whitney, Mama Whitney, as competition, and he fed her to the wolf. That's what black men do currently. So until we address this topic, I don't want to hear anybody, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we need to pretend. No, I'm not a Caucasian queen that's going to tell her son, fake it until you make it. Our crowns are rooted in Zambe. Our crowns are rooted in God. Our crowns are rooted in purity. I can't do that. I can't sacrifice my generation. We have this problem with our males, and we have to heal it ASAP. And who holds the key to heal them? Our women. My daughters, you have to change your standard. Don't put up with nothing below your standard anymore. Even if it means that you will remain single for the rest of your life, do not forget that you are his teacher. Okay? You set the tempo. You set the tempo of the song you're going to dance with him on. And nothing less. Okay? That's what it is. What I want our children to understand out there, I'm tired of, hearing these games is either the black man will take his place, his rightful place in the world, or he's going to sit and take it quietly. We're tired of the confusion. Our daughters are tired of the shortcomings. It's like something gotta give. You can be a group of people who have been oppressed, who is deeply sick, and you will see that in a lot of our males. They don't believe in getting mental health. However broken they are, however, whatever damage either the master or their mothers, put on them, whatever emasculated them, we don't know. But they don't believe in seeking help because, they have guinea pigs around, people they can pick and make suffer. But we have to get out of that comfort zone and think that the world as a whole gonna view us as respectable beings. I don't think our ancestors fought for their children to come and stay and remain in the land of captivity. I don't think our ancestors sacrificed their lives. Someone like me, I have 11 generations, of kings, who were wiped out, including their offspring. We can't find none of them on the continent. We are the only survivor of that massacre. So, and as I say in a previous video, I feel a lot of sadness because when I see them interacting with each other and stuff like that, including with me, I get lost in my thought. I'm like, these are the people my forefathers died for. These are the people my forefathers thought they were worth fighting for. They were worth dying for. My forefathers went against guns and cannons with blades, knowing they would lose that fight, because they believed that we were worth fighting for. We were worth risking it all for. So, of course, we got conquered and colonized and enslaved. Now, today, we are out there doing the worst to one another. The thing is, like, you can't even say that, oh, those who don't consider themselves Africans, because remember, they have become their former masters. What do the former masters do? They use deceit, they use lies. So our royal children out there, you have to be cognitive of the fact that not everybody who comes around you, they're going to say that they're African, they believe that we came from Africa and they hold Africa dear in their heart. That is truly, what they say. You have to be careful. That's why I insist for us to become spiritual. Because once you become spiritual, you can read people's spirit. You can read people's intention, and our unkulus will reveal to you whatever you need to know. A lot of our males have been mentally castrated. All right? They may walk around with a penis with a set of balls, but they are not men. It's a topic that is always avoided, but I'm a queen. I got license to roast whomever I want to roast, and especially I have license to shed light into every dark area. That's what a mother is for. A queen is a mother. I bring light to our children. So even if it's a hot topic that would annoy, many people, our men are predators, and that needs to go. That needs to be healed, or else we can continue pretending they are our friends. They are the black woman #1 competitor. And in the mass of the sick idiot, there's like 15% of our male who are whole, who are healed, who know what to do, who know how to protect us, who know how to provide for us, who are our friends, who are our confidants, who are our best friend, and so on. Only 15%. The rest is trash. The rest has been broken. The rest has been destroyed. So you have to understand that it's convenient to use excuses, to use slavery as an excuse, to use colonization as an excuse, to use white supremacy as an excuse. Of course, we don't have to do the work if we're sitting on a bunch of excuses. African culture will impose you to be accountable when you do something wrong. African culture will impose you to learn a language. African culture will impose you to learn a culture. And what is the definition of a culture? A culture is the way of life of a group of people. All right? It goes down to their morals, their beliefs, their values, their language, their dressings, their fashion, their spirituality, and so on. The list goes on. So if we are even to define that word culture, we will find some golden nuggets. So what is culture? The things a group of people does. So what does it mean? It means that whatever you allow among you, whatever has been perpetrated among you or practiced among you, become part of your culture. So the culture they cling to, this is the culture they cling to. The survival of the fetus, the crab in the bucket. This is black culture. Because don't let any of you with your lousy mask come after, oh, this is not black culture, blah, blah. This is black culture. Because that which you allow to be perpetrated among you and goes unchecked or unhealed becomes part of your culture. Yes. And they blame some of our people when they make it, they move out and never look back. They're going to be dead in a few months. They will. So until we pull up that mirror and really face our issues, like we have these cum bags among us, what do we do with them? Do we address them? Do we do this? Do we do that? No. And it's that black woman that doesn't receive enough praise, enough recognition, because the same black man is there trying to crush her. They hate her with a passion, but the poor black woman is there taking it all. But this nonsense is going to have to stop. I'm going to have to ask for the rightful sons and the rightful heirs of our thrones and crown to rise and regulate these fools. You know, the Mundeles, the Caucasian made them believe that, you know, the woman come after behind. So they come and imply that in us when you see them get rounded up. But a true son of his fathers understand that he came from a black woman. All right, so he can't be seen until she's seen. A true son of his forefather understand that a black woman is more than an extension of him. A black woman is him, and he's a black woman. For together they are one. A true son of his forefather knows that if you celebrate my woman, you have celebrated me. If you have elevated my woman, you have elevated me, because I am my woman and my woman is I. Together we are one. A true son of his father understand that. A true son of his father freely celebrate his woman. A true son of his forefather accommodate her, take burden off of her instead of adding burden to her. A true son of his forefathers understand the oneness between him and his woman. Therefore cannot get triggered just because she's being celebrated, just because she's being put on a pedestal, just because the spotlight is on her. He's going to be supportive. He's going to be protective. He's still going to provide her with whatever she needs from him, because he understands their oneness. Him and his woman are one. If you're celebrating my woman, you have celebrated me, because me and my woman are one. Until they get that understanding, they are savages. My beautiful daughters needs to stay away from. Okay, so now let's close today. To our beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, peace in your homes, love in your heart, and unity, for without which we need to throw the towel. Okay, my children, until next time. Mwah.